Every city has that place, the one everyone knows, but no one talks about. In my hometown of Carver, Ohio, it's the old Rustfield Stadium. It's been abandoned for over 15 years. The gates are rusted shut, the bleachers are crumbling, and the field looks like it hasn't been mowed since Bush was in office. Nobody guards it. Nobody tears it down. It's just there, a forgotten wound in the middle of town. And I live across the street from it. My apartment's on the top floor of a 9-story brick complex built in the 70s. It faces the stadium directly. I used to joke that I had season tickets to a graveyard. The place was dead. Until about 3 weeks ago. That's when I saw the first one. It looked like a dog, big, black, kind of shaggy, just standing on the edge of the field under one of the busted floodlights. I was smoking on my balcony, middle of the night, 2:30 a.m. There it was, staring at me. I thought maybe it was just a stray. God knows we've got plenty around here. But this one didn't move like a dog. It didn't sniff the air, didn't twitch, didn't blink. It just looked at me, long, too long. A few nights later I saw 2 more. They stood motionless near the collapsed bleachers, angled just enough to catch the light. Then 3, then 5, always at night, always silent. I mentioned it to my downstairs neighbor, Pete. Vietnam vet, drinks too much but has a good heart. He looked me dead in the eye and said, "They used to come once a decade. Now they're showing up every winter. Keep your lights on." I thought he was just rambling. I wish he was. Last Thursday I got a closer look. I stepped out to the fire escape for a smoke. Cold as hell. I looked down. One of them was standing below, near the dumpsters. Its head turned slowly when it sensed me. That's when I saw its face. It wasn't fully human. It wasn't fully anything. Just a face with lips and eyes and a nose that didn't belong on a dog. And worst of all, I recognized it. It looked like Evan Bowers, a guy I went to high school with. He OD'd 5 years ago, died behind a gas station, and now his face was on this thing. I ran back inside and slammed the window. Didn't sleep that night. The next day, I checked my Ring camera footage. Nothing there. Just static between 2:11 and 2:15 a.m. That's when the dog was there. I checked the footage from my neighbor's cam. Same static, same time stamp. Then things escalated. On Saturday night, I heard scratching on my balcony window. 9th floor. No fire escape on that side. Just brick wall. I didn't want to look. But something in me needed to. I peeked through the blinds. There was a face, inches away, pressed against the glass. It was my mom, but she's been dead since 2017. The head wasn't hers. It was animal. But the face, that was hers, lifeless, like it had been photocopied and glued onto a corpse. And it mouthed something I couldn't hear. I fell backward, hit the floor, and when I looked again, it was gone. Pete didn't answer his door the next day. When the super unlocked his unit, he wasn't there. Just an open window, and a sticky note on the kitchen table. If they speak, don't answer. That's how they get in. There's more, a lot more. But if you're reading this, don't look too long at the dogs in your neighborhood. They might look back, and they might look like someone you love. Pete is gone. I mean gone. No missing person report, no cops asking questions. His apartment is already cleared out. I checked yesterday. No sign he ever lived there. His name isn't even on the buzzer anymore. It's like the building has Alzheimer's. But I remember the face on the balcony. I remember Pete's note. And last night, something came inside. I was asleep on the couch with the TV on. Some old horror flick was playing cheesy 80s stuff. The volume was low, just enough to keep me grounded. Then the sound cut out. TV still playing, but mute. Then static. Then the power died. Total darkness. City quiet. Not just my unit, the whole block. That's when I heard the knock. 4 slow knocks. Not on the door, on the inside of my bedroom closet. I didn't move at first. I just listened. The knocks came again, slower, more deliberate. I walked toward the closet like I was sleepwalking, not in control. I reached out, heart thudding in my throat. Then a voice whispered from inside.
"You left the window open again."
It was my dad's voice. He's been dead since 2019. Suicide. Never said goodbye. Never called me by my full name. But this thing did.
"Grayson."
I backed away, turned, tried to run, and then something brushed my ankle. Low, wet, animal. I kicked and fell, slammed into the TV stand. Power blinked back on. Light, sound. The static disappeared. And the closet door was open. Inside was nothing but a sheet of printer paper taped to the wall, written in shaky black ink. "You're next to wear the face." I've been trying to make sense of it. I even drove out to Rustfield Stadium this morning, just to be sure I'm not losing my mind. But the gates were open. They've never been open. Inside, the field wasn't empty anymore. It was full of holes, dug, scratched, some wide, some narrow. And in the center, where the pitcher's mound used to be, there was a chair, a steel folding chair, and on it was a face, not a head, not a mask, just a face, laid flat, empty. And it looked like me. I called 911. They said they'd send someone to check. No one came. I waited 2 hours. When I got home, my door was unlocked. Nothing stolen, nothing broken. But every mirror in my apartment was gone, even the one in the medicine cabinet. Instead, taped to the bathroom wall, "We don't want you seeing what's coming." That night I sat with every light on, baseball bat in hand. I didn't sleep. I didn't blink. I just waited. Around 3 a.m., my phone buzzed. It was a video message. No number. Just a file called TakeITBACK. I hit play. It was my apartment, filmed from inside. Me, sitting on the couch, holding the bat. But the person on screen wasn't moving, because I was already dead, sitting upright, eyes open, blood down my shirt, and standing behind me, just behind the couch, was a dog, with my dad's face, and it was smiling. I checked every corner of the apartment. Nothing. No intruders. No sign of entry. But on my phone, the video was gone. Deleted. No trace. I didn't delete it. Then I heard scratching on the floor, from inside the wall. I started digging. Research. Old newspaper clippings. Local legends. Anything. I found one article. 1979. Buried deep in the archives. 12 residents vanish near Rustfield Stadium in 1 week. Police suspect cult activity. Witnesses describe dogs that speak in familiar voices. The article was pulled 2 days after publication, but one line stuck out. The disappearances began when the faces started appearing. They always start with someone you love. So far, I've seen my mom, my dad. I think next is my sister. She died in a fire when we were kids. I haven't thought about her in years, but I've been smelling smoke lately, hearing little feet run across my ceiling. She used to run like that. There's more. I think Pete knew all of it, and I think I've found his hiding place. In the maintenance closet behind the laundry room, there's a trapdoor in the floor. Just dust and shadows. But someone's been living under there. A cot, candles, drawings. One of the walls is covered with names. All first names. All crossed out. Except one. Mine. Not crossed out. Underlined. And below it, scrawled in charcoal. Don't wear the face. Burn it before they do. I woke up in someone else's apartment. Same furniture, same layout, but something was wrong. My walls were bare. No books, no art, no clothes in the closet. Even the smell was off like bleach and wet carpet. I ran to the door. No bolt, no chain, just a scratched-up frame, as if something had been clawing from the inside. I tried my phone. No signal. The screen flickered and froze on the lock screen. But the photo had changed. It used to be me and my sister when we were kids at the beach. Now it was just her, alone, smiling, with a leash in her hand. That's when I realized the collar was empty. Something had slipped off it. I opened the front door. Instead of the hallway of my building, I saw a long tunnel. Concrete walls. Flickering lights. The kind they have in subway stations that were never finished. I turned back. The apartment behind me was gone. Just another stretch of tunnel. And in the distance, something was panting. Not heavy like a dog. Wet, slow, like it had lungs it wasn't used to. I walked. I didn't know what else to do. Every few feet, the lights buzzed and dimmed. And behind me, the panting grew closer. I started seeing flyers on the walls. Lost D.O.G. Missing person. Have you seen me? All of them looked like people I'd seen on milk cartons growing up. Every single one of them had a blurred face. One was my own. Eventually, the tunnel opened into a massive underground room, stadium-sized, circular, lit with dimmed spotlights. There were rows of chairs set up around a pit, like an arena. And in the center, nailed to a wooden post, was a man, still breathing. His face was missing, but he was alive, twitching, moaning, muffled, like someone with no lips. And all around him, the dogs, dozens. Some walked upright, some crawled, some had human eyes, some full human heads stitched into canned bodies, and one of them was wearing Pete's face. It didn't fit quite right, sagged at the chin. The lips twitched when the thing tried to smile. It saw me. It grinned. The others turned. I backed away, slowly. One of them spoke, a deep, slow, unnatural voice, like something trying to remember how vocal cords work.
You made it down here, Grayson. Good.
Another voice, higher, womanly.
You left the window open. You always leave the window open.
They started to circle. Their mouths opened, and inside were not tongues. Inside their mouths were hands, tiny, twitching human hands reaching outward. I ran. They didn't chase. They watched. One of them whispered as I passed.
You'll come back when the face is ready.
I don't remember how I got out. Just woke up in my real apartment, face down on the bathroom floor. Phone beside me. One new voicemail. No number, just static. And under the static, a voice, mine. I'm wearing it now. It fits. I understand now. I understand you. That was 2 nights ago. Now, every time I close my eyes, I see the dogs. But not from the outside anymore. I see through their eyes. They're watching a man, alone in his apartment. He looks tired, scared. He looks a lot like me. The weirdest thing? That man, the one they're watching, he's posting this story online. And I don't think he knows they're already in the room. I thought I was done. After what I saw in the tunnels, the faces, the dogs, Pete's disappearance, I was ready to run and hide forever. But last night I met someone who changed everything. Her name is Rachel. She's lived in Carver all her life and knows more about the stadium than anyone else. She's the only person I've met who survived the wearing. Rachel found me when I posted my last story. She said,
You don't fight this by running. You have to face it head on. I did, and I lived to tell.
She showed me scars, strange, like bite marks, but shaped almost like a mask.
They want you to become one of them.
She said,
If you let them wear your face, they can take over. But if you do it yourself, if you wear the face on your own terms, you can control it. You can fight back.
She told me about the ritual, a way to stop the dogs from multiplying, to burn the mask, to break the cycle. But there's a catch.
You have to become them.
Rachel warned. Her eyes darkened.
Not just a face on a dog's body. You become something else, something in between. The first step is losing yourself. But it's the only way to destroy them.
I didn't believe her. Not at first. Last night, I went back to the stadium, to the tunnels. Rachel was there, waiting. She handed me a small leather pouch with something inside.
This is what you'll need. But remember, once you do it, you won't be fully human anymore. The only way back is to pass the curse on to someone else.
I stared at her, cold sweat running down my back. The ritual was terrifying. I won't go into detail, but when I put on the face, felt it settle over me, I saw through their eyes, felt their hunger, heard their whispers. But I stayed. Now I'm one of them. But I'm still me. The curse isn't just a punishment. It's a choice. And now I have to warn you. If you're reading this, if you feel something watching you, don't ignore it. Because I'm looking for someone to pass it on to. Someone to wear the face. Someone who's willing to survive. If you don't hear from me again, you'll know I succeeded. If you do, well, then it's your turn.